What if I told you the Eagles had one big issue right now, and it is not Jalen Hurts? Well, the team won their 9th straight game yesterday and are now 11-2, but people are overly frustrated with a press conference answer from A.J. Brown and a response from Jalen Hurts. But should they be concerned? I'm here to tell you why that is not the main worry. We'll break it all down, but welcome into A to Z Philly. I'm RB. Do me a favor, go down below and like this video at the end if you do enjoy it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's jump right into it. The Philadelphia Eagles get a win, another one down against the Carolina Panthers. No, it was not pretty. No, it was not perfect. It was actually pretty ugly. It was a tight squeeze, but you know what? The Eagles get it done, 22-16, and that should be the main priority right now. This team is 11-2. They have won 9 in a row, and look at that. They actually clinched a playoff spot yesterday, so they're already in, man. They're already in the dance. Now it's about, can they get the 1 seed? How far can they climb the chain? Can they stay healthy? You know, what does this next month look like? So we will talk about all of that and more, but shout out to the Eagles for making the playoffs. And the Eagles are now 9-0 in the Baldiani era. Like I say every week, man, Nick, go back to the barber. Tell him you want the 0. Whatever it is, man. Pay him good. Let him shave your damn head because we need Baldiani to stay. That man is untouchable. Now, before we jump into all of the chaos, because, you know, it's a victory Monday, right? And I just feel like the priorities right now are all out of whack for the people that have been commenting on this game and where the Eagles are, things like that. So before we jump into the chaos, let's give a shout out to Saquon Barkley because a lot of big storylines are going overshadowed from yesterday. Saquon Barkley made Eagles history, maybe even NFL history. He set the Eagles single season rushing record in his first year with the team yesterday. He had 124 yards. Almost didn't even feel like a big pop of a Saquon game, you know, but he still had 124, and he probably should have had more touches as well based on how the game was going, but he breaks LaShawn McCoy's franchise record. This dude is special. We say it every week. He is Mr. Consistent, and he just never lets up. And the Eagles now lead the NFL with 190.5 rushing yards per game. Do you know how insane that is, man? Do you know how absolutely bonkers that is? They're averaging 206.5 per game since the bye week, 47.8 more than the next highest team. That is the identity of this team. Keep in mind, that is what this team does best. We have said it since week 1. They flipped it around and did a 180 during the bye week, and that's why they have been successful. That's why they have been winning games, because they are a run-first team. Keep that in mind. And let's talk about what happened yesterday. So, Eagles get this win 22-16, but everything is being shoved under the rug because of the comments made post-game, right? All right, let's look at this. Jalen Hurts, 14 for 21, had 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did Jalen Hurts play his best game yesterday? No, he did not. He has not been that sharp for a couple of weeks, but the Eagles have won games. Saquon Barkley was Saquon Barkley, and the Eagles' defense yesterday was not that sharp, right? But they made the plays when they had to. Jalen made the plays when he had to. What about the 3rd and 13, 15-yard completion down near the end to extend the drive and move the sticks? How about the 35-yard run that Jalen had that really set this team up in prime position to score? How about all these other things that he did when the game mattered? And this is what he has done all season, right? The Eagles come out of the gate and they're never sharp from the jump, but then they kind of kick it into gear and they realize, we got to really get moving here. So they start feeding Saquon. And then they usually have a big play that opens up the field and they go ahead and score and never look back. This game was not like that. And I think what the Eagles got yesterday was a scare that, if we really don't start fixing our first quarter problem, you know, this team could be in trouble in a big time game. I've said it for weeks now. You can't go down 14-0 against the Lions or the Packers or whoever else in a big-time playoff game, because then you're going to go away from your identity, which is running the football and controlling the clock, and then it's going to get very scary. But anyway, we look at the Eagles receiving core yesterday. 4 catches, 43 yards from AJ. Devontae, 4 catches, 37 yards. Dallas Goedert is out on IR. Grant Calcaterra had 3 catches and a touchdown, but other than that, no really big plays. And now people are starting to pin the concern on Jalen Hurts. First off, I think people need to realize that this Eagles team is not the 2023 Eagles. How many times have we said that, right? They could have laid down and quit after the first 5 games of the year. They did not. They went on a win streak. They fixed their issues. They were honest with themselves, and here they are. So I think people are just kind of, scarred in a way, or maybe just have trauma from last year's team. This is not last year's team, and they won the game yesterday. Like, they still found a way to win. Yes, that ball was dropped at the end, and the Eagles' defense was uncharacteristic. They were missing tackles, and, the coverage was not as tight as usual. There were just a lot of things yesterday that made it feel like one of those games. And yes, maybe we did underrate the Panthers. They've played some tough games the last couple of weeks. They're not that good, but Bryce Young held in there, made some plays, and credit to them for playing the Eagles hard yesterday. But the Eagles still found a way to win. They are on a 9-game win streak, and we can't let this game, get us out of the mindset of it's still all the way or nothing. Like, this team still has the talent to do it. And yesterday, A.J. Brown seen on the sideline with Devontae Smith having an honest conversation. A.J. has probably not been too happy with his touches and how he's getting involved in the offense, and, being a predominant run team now, maybe it's hard for him to get his. Fine. But here's the thing, man. Yesterday in the press conference, A.J. Brown asked about what the offense needs to improve on, quote, passing, says everything else is fixable, and he slammed his helmet out of frustration after a 3-and-out. And if you actually listen to this press conference that everybody's blowing out of proportion, it honestly felt like AJ was giving one-word answers just so he could get out of there. It felt like he didn't want to talk to the media. He didn't want to talk to the people that tried to run him out of town last year and took his quotes out of context. Now, here's the one thing I'm mad about with this. I don't think AJ should have had this mentality to the extreme yesterday. Like, if you look at him, it looks like he's so upset that the team lost. I like that the team is not settling, that they're not just, shoving this away and saying, okay, like, we're satisfied. They're not satisfied. I don't like how AJ really handled himself yesterday. I feel like he could have at least just said, I'm mad that I can't get really into a groove, but I'm happy we won. So to me, it kind of just felt like he was trying to brush us off. But of course, all the media is going to take this out of context. And now they're saying A.J. Brown's a diva. And they're saying he took a shot at Jalen Hurts. He did not take a shot at Jalen Hurts. He said they need to work on passing, a.k.a. they need to get everybody in their groove, get everybody on the same page. And I think Jalen Hurts would agree on that. I mean, Jalen Hurts said that the passing game needs to get on the same page as well. He was asked if they need to get on the page this late into the season. No. Asked why again. He says, I'll just say no. Then he ended up leaving the press conference early because, again, you could see what these people are doing. They're trying to box him into a corner. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that Jalen didn't miss throws and his reads weren't sharp. I'm not saying any of that. He's got to be better. But when he needed to make the plays, he still found a way to make the plays. Jalen Hurts, when trailing versus the Panthers, 10 for 13, 71 passing yards, 58 rushing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. It's not like he played oh so awful that this team lost the game. So, look, I understand where the frustration's coming from, but here's my issue with all of the negativity towards Jalen right now is the first 4 weeks of the season, everybody tried to bully him into playing more of a scarce type of game, right? Oh, don't make the big play. Oh, you're going to turn the ball over. So what did he do after turning the ball over a lot the first couple of weeks? He actually cleaned it up and got a bit more conservative and kind of slid into that game manager role. But it was because the Eagles started to run the ball. That is my number one issue with this team right now. It's not Jalen Hurts. Can Jalen be better? Yes, but it's Kellen Moore. The first 15 plays have been absolutely atrocious every single week. Every game, I say, can the Eagles finally get this guy into a groove? How come they don't throw a 5-yard slant? How come they don't throw a 4-yard dig? How come they don't do anything at the beginning of a game? How come it's always, okay, we get to the second, oh, here's the third quarter, now we're going to pick up and do everything we should and utilize every weapon we have and get Jalen into a rhythm. I feel like this guy would have so much more confidence if they gave him 4 completions on the first drive rather than throwing a ball 25 yards down the sideline or, in no man's land. Right? Give Saquon touches. Get the offense going early. It would take so much pressure off this guy, and it would avoid having to come back every third and fourth quarter. So I don't understand how the Eagles have not realized to this point that their initial game planning coming into the games is really just killing them. It is shooting them in the foot. Jalen Hurts says he did a bad job with the passing game and having everyone synced in the passing game. He says it starts with him and they should not be having to get on the same page in the 13th game. So look, I mean, he took accountability. A.J. Brown said he was pissed. I didn't like his attitude, but, he's probably just frustrated given the talent that he is. And here's a couple plays where we can see in real time, like, what's going on. I mean, you see A.J. Brown here run down the field. There was one safety in the middle, but you see all the way to the right, A.J.'s open. Jalen's got to hit this throw. This is a bad read by Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown wide open. Nice breakdown by Dan Orlovsky. He's got to hit A.J. right here. He ends up throwing it into the flat. And then on the touchdown, Jalen had A.J. crossing right over the middle, but he ends up hitting Devontae Smith for a touchdown. It was still a score. And just because they had one game where they slipped up a bit, but still kicked it into gear and found a way to win, that does not mean that the season is over and this team can't go the distance and Jalen isn't the guy. Nobody played a sharp game yesterday, and they still found a way to pull it out. So it is not time to sound the alarm or hit the panic button. This team will be A-okay, and they will move on to next week. Big game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we'll see how it plays out. But those are my thoughts. Give me yours down below in the comments section. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.
Tap into BetMGM Casino, and you're entering a huge library full of exclusive games. Games you won't find anywhere else. Looking for jackpots? Right this way. You'll always find someone ready to give you a hand. Or some dice. Your favorite game is waiting for you. On BetMGM Casino.